And we live, Jojo, we live, right?
We're
Are we
live.
live? So we're kind of late and everything, but I mean, we're live.
Yes.
Um, hopefully there wasn't a lot of people waiting on us.
If there
You
were,
know,
we're sorry. It's kind of our thing.
yeah, it's been a day, and so for that we are sorry. But let's get this started, Jojo. How about that?
Let's.
This is Kickin' and Streamin' Podcast, a binge watcher's guide to streaming movies, TV series, and stuff. Here are your hosts, Graham and Jocelyn.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Kicking and Streaming Podcast. My name is Graham, and with me today, live, is the fantastic Jojo. Hello, Jojo.
Howdy do.
Well, the do is doing. After the kind of day we've had, after the kind of difficulties we've had to get started, we are here. We're finally here, and we're live on YouTube and on Facebook. So I would love if you all would, give us a shout. Let us know if you're following through, and we'll say, hey, how you doing, and everything. Well, today we are discussing the Golden Globes. That was last night, and that was, we're gonna be talking about that a bit, but we're gonna mainly go over the winners based on what we predicted and what is, the real deal, isn't it? So, without further ado, Jojo, would you like to go on ahead?
Sure. Where would you like?
Okay, so we are going to start with best actor in a supporting role. So that is so best actor in a supporting role was nominated were Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of the Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah, Jared Leto, The Little Things, Bill Murray, On the Rocks, and Leslie Odom Jr., One Night in Miami. And the winner was Daniel Kaluuya, right? So, Jojo, we talked about this, right? When we did our prediction show, I think we got this one right, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did. I don't think we. Well, the whole show itself was interesting, but yeah, I think we actually got this one right. I apologize for my dogs in the background; they have all lost their mind, so I don't know why.
What is going on, Jojo?
Frankie's angry about.
All right, Frankie, settle down, Frankie. And so, yeah, so Judas and the Black Messiah won, and actually Daniel Kaluuya won, and I think that was the only thing for the night. I don't know that it was nominated for anything else, was it?
Not that I can remember. I don't believe so. So I'm glad that.
What do you think of the little technical difficulty that happened there?
Oh, that was wild. Like I mean, obviously we know technical difficulties happen,
Right.
but I just feel like something as should have as much money behind it as the Golden Globes shouldn't have happened. So I thought that was a little bit.
Yeah, that was weird, and because like they were trying to, I don't know if it was the embarrassment or whatever, but like they were like, okay, so he can't talk, so let's move on, and dude is like, yo, I got things to say, man. Fix your stuff and let me talk, but we're not gonna do this, right?
Yeah, I thought that was odd too. Like, oh, let's just move on. It was like, wait, no, he won. He gets the right to start talking. I mean, you can say we'll come back to you in a couple of minutes when we get our crap figured out, but to just be like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's one thing for an actor or an awarded person to not show up, and you say, "Okay, I'm going to accept this on their behalf." But if the person is there, and the only problem is that your shit is not working, so that's not the person's fault, and you should get on with it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I completely agree.
All right. So then we have next best performance by an actor in a supporting role in a series, limited series, or motion picture made for television. That's a long ass title.
That is a long
Jeez.
title.
What the hell, man? What are we talking about here? So what do you think of this one? What do you have?
I think I have a different list than you again, so I don't have it next. So if you'll go ahead and that is a long title.
Okay, so let's see. I have the nominees. The nominees were John Boyega for Small Axe, Brendan Gleeson for the Comey Rule, Dan Levy for Schitt's Creek, Jim Parsons for Hollywood, and Donald Sutherland for The Undoing. And the winner here was John Boyega. I was kind of surprised with that one. I'm not gonna lie. I was a bit surprised about this one because I still feel like Small Axe didn't make the splash that I was expecting it to make as an anthology movie, and all 5 movies were absolutely fantastic. Yeah, but I still didn't hear a lot of people talking about it. I still didn't feel like people were into them like that. And I frankly thought, okay, John Boyega won, but I'm sure a lot of people are asking themselves, what the hell was that all about again? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if they have any questions, they can go to our podcast where we discuss Small Axe, or actually you discuss it because I had to dip that week. But I'm happy that he won because I really enjoyed his performance in that. It was one of my favorite of all of the anthology. So I was excited that he won.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think award shows are a perfect fit for virtual anything. I personally miss the pageantry and all that good stuff. What do you say, Jojo?
Yeah, I agree. It just kind of feels like I don't know, like a big Zoom call with family or something where everybody's kind of wandering off and doing their own thing or whatever. I don't know. I mean, some things about it were kind of neat. When Mark Ruffalo won, which we're getting ahead a little bit, but with his family interaction, that was kind of cool to see. But at the same time, I miss seeing the theater and seeing everybody all dressed up and all the excitement and the pregame show and that kind of thing.
And the thing is, the Golden Globes are known to be, the fun ones, right? The fun show, like the drink and shit. You got what's his name? The dude that once was like all full of pills and shit. It was what's his name? What's his name? The dude that played the Joker originally.
Jack Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson, like everybody who has a drinking problem, you can tell on the night of the Golden Globes. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking alcoholics, You see them like sipping on water and shit, because they don't want to follow the wagon and shit. That's what I miss, and so the whole I'm just sitting here waiting for you, and then they put all of these nominees on the screen, and I feel like once the person who won and they're doing the little speech and shit, you can get rid of the rest of them. 'Cause, you know what I mean? Because like there was one, and we'll talk about this later, but there was one where Steve McQueen was nominated and somebody else won, and you could see that he wasn't amused.
I know, like with the Oscars, like when the way the Oscars used to be done, they would have the camera shots on everybody. Everybody had their own little window, and they had the shot of everybody. And then as soon as somebody won, it was like you would get maybe a second of reaction from everybody else, and then it would go right to they'd cut right to the winner, which I think is kind of like maybe a nicer thing to do to everybody else, because you know how Hollywood's all about image, and if you don't look like you're happy for everybody, then
there's the fake clap too, like I know you were expecting to win this shit, and now you'd be like, yeah, nah, don't do that. You don't want to be overly enthusiastic either, because it's not like you didn't want to win it and shit. You're like, come on, let's.
Exactly.
Right. So we have best performance by an actress in a television series, musical or comedy. The nominees were Lily Collins, Emily in Paris. I know, right? Kali Cuoco, the flight attendant. By the way, I almost started watching the flight attendant this week.
It's one of those I wanted to watch because it looks good, and then it just kind of fell off my radar, and then now I'm like, it's been too long.
yeah. I mean, I'll get to it. Like it's one of those things. Like if you don't get to it very, immediately, you just keep like passing on in it, and I almost started, like I was about to hit, and then I found something that called my attention more, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this, and then I'll come back to Kali Cuoco. So. Well, and the winner here was Catherine O'Hara, but I think she won the same last year, wasn't it? Didn't she win this one too?
I know she won something last year. I don't remember if it was the Golden Globes or the Emmys, but I do know that she won something last year. And I don't know. I mean, I love Catherine O'Hara. I really do. I just am Schitt's Creek winning so many things is sort of confusing to me.
I'm kind of done with them though. Like I'm not hating, by the way.
No.
It's not hating. I'm just saying I'm done with them in that, like, Jesus, enough already.
Like the series is over, right? So let's move on. Next.
Yeah, come on. Let's not do that anymore. You know what I mean? Do you have anything? It doesn't matter the order, really.
Let's see. So the list I called up is actually from the New York Times, and it doesn't have the nominees. I just got the winners. So
okay, let's do best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture made for television. I'm gonna give you the nominees, then you can do the winners, right?
Okay.
So we got Bryan Cranston, You Honor, Jeff Daniels, The Comey Rule, Hugh Grant, The Undoing, Ethan Hawke, The Good Lord Bird, and Mark Ruffalo. I Know This Much Is True.
And that was won by Mark Ruffalo.
Right. So let's talk about this. How is it that a show that, for me, to my knowledge, like I never heard anybody saying, "Hey, Graham, you gotta watch this one." Like no one, and because we have this podcast, how like comedians always complain that whenever they see a family member, they always like, "Hey, I got a good joke for you. Put it on your act."
Yeah, right.
And so because people know that we do this podcast. Most people see me and they'll be like, "Hey, Graham, you got to watch this. You got to do a show about it." And blah blah blah. And sometimes we end up talking about it. You
Yes.
know.
Yes.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't know anybody who was excited and wanted to talk about. I know this much is true. So what the hell?
I actually didn't even know it existed until he was nominated. I had no idea. So it was never in any of my recommendation lists, or I never heard anybody talk about it or anything. I never heard any buzz or read any buzz. So I don't know. I remember when we talked about this with his nomination, we kind of facetiously said he should win because we did know he was playing twins. And he was playing two parts, so he's doing double the work. So maybe that paid off for him. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, but the other thing is that he had a very good speech, and he's a solid guy, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, I do too. He's like a decent dude, a good dude.
Yeah. I was happy for him. I just don't know what the hell. Was it a series or a movie? It's a series.
I think it was a short series, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Short series, I think.
No, yeah, a limited series or motion picture made for television. All right. Well, there are a few shows there that I know of, but I decided, I'm going to watch. Here's what I think I'm going to do. The Golden Globes is a bit has become a bit lightweight in terms of in terms of their nomination process and the whole thing. Like, the HFPA is kind of like slowly fading into obsolescence, if you will. It is because the problems that we know exist, but also because they've never been about really terribly serious. Like the integrity. There's an integrity problem with the HFPA. They are openly courted by, movie studios. They get money, presents and stuff, And so those nominations, you have to take them with a little bit of a grain of salt. The whole idea that they are some sort of like dress rehearsal for the Oscars is a bit too much.
Yeah.
So when the list of nominations come out, I don't particularly feel like I have to watch all the things that are nominated there. So that's why I've passed on watching some of them. Having said that, I did watch Nomadland, and it was because Patton Oswalt recommended it, and I was like, this guy should know what he's talking about. And I watched it, and I was actually very impressed.
Patton Oswalt usually, he's usually on point with what he talks about, and I know that you've seen Nomadland, and we hadn't gotten to talk about it yet, so I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really, really a fantastic little movie. All right, so we should move on to Best Screenplay for a motion picture, and you've got nominees are Emerald Fennell, Promising Young Woman, Jack Fincher, Mank, Aaron Sorkin, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Florian Zeller, Christopher Hampton, The Father, and Chloe Zhao, Nomadland. The winner for this one, we kind of got it right from the very beginning. We thought that screenplay, there was no one was going to take that one away from Aaron Sorkin.
No, really. I think we were sort of hoping that somebody might, but also not that there was anything wrong with the Chicago 7 or anything, but just because it would be nice to have some new people win some things. But I guess, as they say, it is an honor to be nominated. So, nobody took it away from him, and deservedly. It was a great movie.
Do you know, I actually got interested just by the little bit that I saw on that movie, The Father. I want to see that.
Yeah, it does look very, very interesting. I agree. I maybe that's something we should talk about next week.
Yeah, yeah. Olivia Colman with Anthony Hopkins. You know, God, I miss this old dude. And having said that, the night was. I think this is one of those that we predicted. We thought that this could be a big night for The Crown.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
We said that either it was gonna be like a complete 360 where we're like, huh? Or it was gonna be predictably as we thought, The Crown, The Crown, The Crown. So I'm gonna give you the nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series, and then you throw out the winner, right?
Got it.
So nominees are Olivia Colman for The Crown, Jodie Comer, Killing Eve, Emma Corrin, The Crown, Laura Linney, Ozark, and Sarah Paulson, Ratched. And the winner on that one was Emma Corrin.
Yes. Yes.
I kind of got this one.
Yes, you certainly did. Yeah. And I think that it seemed to have surprised some people maybe, but I think that she with her performance, it's so much buzz around her performance and how good she is. I think it was probably pretty well deserved on her part. I know that she was able to get a lot of the mannerisms and the way of talking and that sort of thing down, and yeah, the Crown had a good night.
The Crown had a good night, but I'm happy for the youngsters. You know what I mean? Like, Olivia Colman. What's her name? Helena Bonham Carter. All of these people, Tobias Menzies. These people have won everything in the book, and these younger actors, they're coming up, and they're first of all, the unfairness of having to be some of the best actors around some of the greatest actors of their time.
It's very true. Very, very true.
It's an amazing thing. Like, if I were Emma Corrin, even if I was playing the best Diana I could, I would pee myself every time I'm in the presence of Olivia Colman.
Right, exactly. To be able to put on such an enormously great performance with, as you said, some of the greatest actors of our time, that's impressive in itself. So yeah.
I mean, I am, I'm happy for Emma Corrin, and I don't know why they're stopping The Crown, though. I mean, but I think there's so much more to go that.
Yeah, the Queen's not dead yet. They need to keep rolling.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got Prince Philip that is almost like 1 foot over there and 1 foot over here. Yeah.
My dad would say 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot in a banana peel.
Damn. Prince Philip is 99 years old. Last night I was thinking about Norman Lear. Norman Lear is 98 years old, almost 99, and he kind of looks like a 60-year-old dude, though.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, he's wearing his age well.
There's 39 years of this guy that you don't know where it's been. You know what I'm saying? I have this weird theory. I think after a certain age, people just stop aging.
No, I agree.
Like the years just fly by. Because like
Yep.
normally it doesn't look like he's 90. I mean, he looks like a very old dude. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't look like he's 99-year-old.
No, no, nope.
All right then, enough of that. So let's do best performance by an actor in a television series, musical, or comedy. This one was good. This one was really good. So you have nominees Don Cheadle, Black Monday, Nicholas Hoult, The Great, Eugene Levy, Schitt's Creek, Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso, and Rami Youssef, Rami.
And we had Jason Sudeikis win.
I'm you know what? I was in my element. I was so happy for him because people are going to watch this show now. And when they do, they will realize how good of an actor this guy is.
Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge here is playing somebody who doesn't know what he's doing, but yet you're still rooting for him. Like you don't feel like the position is undeserved, and you feel like this guy can get something out of this team. So to put it in context, Jason Sudeikis plays an American football, lower league American football coach who gets hired to manage an English Premier League team. So if you're not familiar, the English Premier League is one of the most, if not the most prestigious soccer league in the world. And so think about the reaction of the press, the fans, and everybody else, including ESPN, when they hired this dude who has no idea, has never played soccer, has never coached soccer, to coach an English Premier League team. And the show is hilarious. The show is poignant, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And the character that Jason Sudeikis plays, at times when I was watching it, I was like, this is like a human SpongeBob SquarePants. You know that annoying positive attitude that SpongeBob has, that you like, dude, just get angry once. Just do me a favor. Just say shit one day. Nothing. But it is a fantastic thing, and I'm so glad that he won this one.
I did read that a lot of people were surprised by the win of this one. They didn't seem to think that the show was popular enough. Not that it wasn't good enough, but just that it really didn't seem to be something that would interest American audiences, which I think is a shame and a disservice. But I know his acceptance speech was a bit was a bit something else, and the tie-dye outfit was kind of cute. It was kind of like, this is all of us right now, really. We're all, this is how we're all sitting here watching it, so why not? And there were people who were actually offended. Like, I read that there were people who were offended, like, how could he not dress up? I'm like,
shit, I'm home, man. And like most of the people that looked like they were all dressed up, except for the women, but most of the dudes, all of them were Donald Ducking anyway. So don't give me that crap.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, John Boyega showed that he was wearing like a pantsuit and shit when, forget it. The whole idea of that. Please spare me the formalities and stuff. Plus, everybody's looking for the tie-dye thing anyway. I'd be like, where can I get this?
Well, if there's some Etsy shop or whatever, it's blowing up like Bernie's mittens.
Yeah. But you know what? I think there's a mistake here that the American audience is making with this show. And it's that right now you're hearing my clock, which always goes on in the middle of a broadcast. And then you're also hearing my puppy, the Milo, who now has decided that he can't be upstairs, he can't be downstairs. He has to be going up and down the stairs. So there's all that going on. So bear with me if you hear more noises and stuff. But what I was saying is, I think American audience are treating this show, Ted Lasso, like, with the same thing that we do with foreign language movies. Is that the barrier for me is that I have to read subtitles. And in this case, people will be like, I'm not interested in soccer, so I'm not going to watch this. That's dumb. That's such a dumb attitude to take.
Yeah. I mean, I personally am not interested in any sports whatsoever, but I can appreciate a show about sports. I mean, I like the movie, for example. It's an old movie, but the movie Rudy. I don't know anything about football, but I love the movie Rudy. That's an adorable little movie. So I don't know anything about soccer. I don't know anything about American football, but I certainly, that's not going to be something that keeps me from watching it just because I don't know anything about.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will watch any like. Do I want to watch a thriller about snooker? I don't know. Can they make something interesting about coaching that? I don't know. But I will watch it. I'm like, let me see what this is all about. Because this is precisely what happened with the Queen's Gambit, isn't it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There you go.
It
There
is.
you go.
Very, very much. There's a direct correlation there. You got it.
I mean, the Queen's Gambit. Let me just see what's going on here. Oh, well, this thing is interesting. But you just have to watch it. And some people just got to go ahead and, freaking get Apple Plus. It's not bad. Actually, they have a good eye for good stuff. The quality of their series and shows so far, I'm not hating on them. I'll tell you that. So do you wanna go on ahead and do best television series, musical, or comedy? I have the nominees for you. All right.
Let's see. Okay.
So, nominees for Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy: Emily in Paris, Netflix; The Flight Attendant, HBO Max; The Great, Hulu; Schitt's Creek, CBC; and Ted Lasso, Apple TV Plus.
So this is one that Schitt's Creek took.
Yeah, I still can't take them seriously with the whole nominating Emily in Paris thing. I can't.
I don't know. I don't know. Really, I don't know.
What did they see in this show that, what exactly did they see? Because the show is, I'm sorry, Emily in Paris is garbage. It's absolute bloody garbage. And so is Bridgerton. I'm not saying that you're watching garbage. I'm just saying that they're garbage.
I don't understand. Well, I mean, when we talked about it, they didn't even understand why they were nominated. The people behind the show. So I
Really? Us?
yeah.
Yeah. Us?
You sure that was a typo or? Okay.
Yeah. So let's move on. Schitt's Creek won this one, and y'all know how I feel about Schitt's Creek, about This Is Us, about a lot of shows that are like, Yeah, everybody. Yeah. I'm like, no, I'll pass. A hard pass for me. That's a no for me, dog. That's a no for me. Right, so let's go with best performance by an actor in a television series or drama. Jason Bateman, Ozark. Josh O'Connor, The Crown. Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul. Al Pacino, Hunters. Matthew Rhys, Perry Mason.
And the winner on this one was Josh O'Connor, which was, I have to say, a surprise for me. Not that he didn't deserve it, but I was surprised.
Jojo, you and I both. Because, like I say, as you said, it's not like he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
But he was in the midst of a bunch of heavy hitters.
Yes.
And I don't know, man. You know, Pacino in Hunters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I love Josh O'Connor. But Pacino in Hunters, he was absolutely blinding.
And I honestly thought it would be him too, based on his performance, based on his background, based on, you know, who he is. I'm like, it's going to be Pacino and or
Matthew Rhys.
Yes.
You know, I mean, Bob Odenkirk almost never wins, but he gets nominated a lot. So, you know, that's, you know, I wasn't expecting this time they're going to be like, you know what? Let's give it to Bob.
Let's give it to Bob. Bob deserves it this time.
I wasn't expecting any of that. Having said that, you're right, Jojo. I was like, you know, and I think that's when Pacino decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to sit here and sleep. My dude went to sleep, man. He was like just dozing. Yo, that was dope, man.
I don't know. You kind of like can't blame him. I probably would have like fallen asleep too by that point too, because it would have been like, okay, so I didn't win, and I still have to be on camera. I'm not really around anybody, and I have to keep myself on and happy for. And no, I'm just gonna sleep. Like,
just gonna go ahead.
Whatever. Good night.
If they need me, they can call me.
Right, exactly.
Send me a text or some shit.
Say my name really loud 3 times. I'll wake up.
But here's the thing. I'm super happy for Josh O'Connor.
Yes.
Because you remember I was really, really gushing over his performance as Prince Charles.
Yes.
And he was introduced in The Crown last season and he wasn't nominated for anything. And I still thought back then that he was doing a hell of a job. So kudos to him for winning this one. And but yeah, man, I think Pacino should have taken it. Pacino should have taken it. I'm just saying. Let's move on to Best Motion Picture Foreign Language. And I know that you've got a bit of a quarrel with that one, innit?
I do a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
So, Best Motion Picture for Foreign Language, another round with Samuel Goldwyn, La Llorona, Shudder, The Life Ahead, Netflix, Minari, and Two of Us. And the winner was Minari.
Yes, Minari.
A movie that is as American as apple pie in terms of telling a story of Americans in America.
Yes.
Newly arrived, but Americans in America.
Yes.
This is the land of all of us. But somehow it ended up being a foreign language movie.
Yes. And I also think that is a disservice to the other films that were nominated, because I feel like it was almost a shoo-in to win in the case of of its pedigree being so American, it should have been up against. If it was going to be nominated, it should have been up against any other American movie. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well, but just in the sense of I don't know, of prejudices and that sort of thing. I just feel like it should have been. I don't know. I think it was a disservice to Minari and a disservice to the other films that were nominated.
I'm with you, because here's another thing that one has to think of is this movie is an American story made in America, but say 80% of it is Korean spoken. There is no official language in America.
Yeah.
The United States does not have an official language. So are we saying that an American movie, as long as it's not made in English, is therefore a foreign language movie?
Yeah, I don't. The Golden Globes needs to do some work on their nomination rules in that category, in my opinion. If it's going to be, I don't know that it should be foreign language, but should be foreign produced or foreign, you know, it's a French movie that came from France, even if they speak English for all of it, but it was produced, it was written, it was directed, it's a French movie. To me, that's what makes a movie foreign. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you looked at a series like Lupin, for instance, that's a foreign language or foreign movie. And I'm more comfortable with international as opposed to, because
international is a better term. I agree.
Right, because like when you labeled it for foreign language, you are sort of like justifying, if you will, why it should be in a certain category, even though it's an American movie made in America. I'm currently watching a show on HBO Max, and it's called Warrior, right? And it's a story of Chinese Americans in the 1800s San Francisco. And there's a lot of Cantonese that is spoken there. If this show were to be nominated for a Golden Globe, for instance, would they consider it to be a foreign language show? I don't know. I don't understand that one. But Minari won, and deservedly so. Have you been able to watch it, Jojo?
I have not been able to watch it yet. No.
Okay.
No, I've only heard fabulous things about it, though.
Yeah. People have high praises for it, and it deserves the win. We just have a little bit of a with the right.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
So, best television series drama were The Crown, Lovecraft Country, The Mandalorian, Ozark, and Ratched. I remember when we did our nomination prediction show, you kind of were surprised that The Mandalorian was even nominated.
I was very surprised, and not because it's a bad show, just because it just isn't. To me, it's not in the caliber of Golden Globes and of what else was nominated. I don't know.
Yeah, The Crown won, but I think we were really pulling for Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
We're happy with the nomination for Lovecraft Country, and we thought that it had done well enough to pull a win. But that was last night was the night for The Crown, isn't it? So
yeah, that seems to happen every so often.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw the nominees for Best Actress in a Supporting Role in any motion picture, Jojo. And hopefully you've got the winner. So, Best Actress in a Supporting Role in any motion picture, you have Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman, the father, Jodie Foster, the Mauritanian, Amanda Seyfried, Mank, Helena Zengel, News of the World, and
Jodie Foster took this one.
the Mauritanian.
Yeah.
I read something about the Mauritanian, and it turns out to be quite interesting. So I have to find that movie and watch it. But it has something to do with a prisoner in Guantanamo,
Okay.
a supposed Muslim militant. Meanwhile, the dude was Mauritanian, not involved in any of that. And Jodie Foster played his lawyer. And there's very good buzz about it. And the fact that and we know that Jodie Foster has this pedigree. When she wins is because she's done the work.
Yeah.
So I've heard good thing about it, and I wanna see this one.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can say is that Jodie Foster won it because she deserved it. I don't know that Jodie Foster is anybody's favorite, to just because she's nominated, because, whatever, when she does the work, she gets nominated and she wins.
Yeah.
That's pretty much Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a series, limited series, or motion picture made for television. And in that, we have Gillian Anderson, The Crown, Helena Bonham Carter, The Crown, Julia Garner, Ozark, and Cynthia Nixon, Ratched. And
I have that Gillian Anderson took it for The Crown.
yeah. You remember
You're very
you remember how I talked about Gillian Anderson
Yes.
playing the best Thatcher I've seen anyone play.
Yes.
And she, she got it. She got that character, man. And yeah. I'm good with that one. I'm good with that one. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah.
No, I knew that one would make you happy, and I am totally excited for her. I think that's a good thing, and I know that she put in a lot of work and a lot of effort for this. So yay!
Yeah. All right. And the next one also made me happy. So we'll talk about this a bit. Best performance by an actress in a limited series or motion picture made for television. We have Kate Blanchett, Mrs. America, Daisy Edgar Jones, Normal People, Shira Haas, Unorthodox, Nicole Kidman, The Undoing, and Anya Taylor-Joy, The Queen's Gambit.
And it was Anya Taylor-Joy.
Man. The moment we saw this show and when we talked about it, we thought this girl needs to be winning something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because her performance was absolutely flawless. The show may not have been actually that substantive. It probably, with another actress, The Queen's Gambit might have been absolute shite.
You're right.
Yeah?
You're right.
She made the show.
Yeah, she did with her very I want to say like unorthodox looks, sort of not that performance is totally based on looks or anything, but it is an important part of it. And she brought so much to the role of such a strange character. that she was brilliant. So it was a good win.
And by the way, this is what did we say? She was born in 1995, so she's what, a 25-year-old, almost 26-year-old actress. She was nominated twice, by the way, for
Yes.
two different things. So
Yes.
so this is someone with a lot of potential here, and so nominated, for two nominations and to win one of them, that's not bad.
No, not bad at all. No, that's something you can write home to mom about.
Like, Mama, I made it. I'm like, yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. I don't know. What? Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. Is that? You can tell this is a bunch of people whose English is the second language to them. What are they talking about here?
I don't know.
But this is Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. It's a lot of television. That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot of TV.
All right, so the nominees are Normal People, that's on Hulu and BBC, The Queen's Gambit, Netflix, Small Axe, Amazon Studios, BBC, The Undoing, HBO, and Unorthodox, Netflix.
And the Queen's Gambit took it.
Yeah.
I knew you would be so excited about. I'm like, Graham's happy.
Yes. This little show right there was something else. And the reason I enjoyed the most about the show is the fact that it was incredibly unceremonious and not a lot of hurrahs were made about it. Like Netflix just threw it in there. I don't think Netflix expected this show to be a success. I don't know that they expected that to happen.
I don't think they did either. I think that they were like, oh, let's do one of those little side projects that we do every so often, and it'll just fade away or whatever. And then suddenly it exploded, and they were like, what? Oh shit!
But these television people, sometimes you have to question their expertise, because I read not too long ago that Disney was the biggest surprise, the most surprise of all of us with the success of The Lion King, with the original
Really?
Lion King.
Really?
Yes. And they actually spent the least amount of money they could making this movie because they didn't have faith in it. I think the project that they were working on with that were pouring all the money on actually was a flop in comparison to The Lion King. And I'm like, how could you make this movie, watch it before distributing it and say, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a success? I mean, The Lion King was one of the most beautiful cartoon movies ever made.
I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, it's iconic. I mean, there's kids that are all grown up now that was their favorite movie and is still their favorite movie. So yeah, the executives, I think, sometimes need a reality check.
You're like, are you sure this is your job? Are you sure you don't just have this position because you're white?
Because you're a white dude.
You're white and male. Because I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, I don't either. That one's baffling to me.
Yeah. So, The Queen's Gambit won Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television, and we like that. We're okay with that, aren't we, George?
Yes.
Right. So, let us then move on to Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. we have Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins, The Father, Gary Oldman, Mank, and Tahar Rahim, the Mauritanian.
This was taken by Chadwick Boseman, which I don't think was a surprise at all.
It wasn't a surprise, and unless you haven't watched Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, you don't know why Chadwick is winning this one. But I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with the fact that he died, that this was his last movie. Nothing to do. Chadwick Boseman was absolutely fantastic in this movie. And the truth is, I actually didn't know that he was he was the main actor. I thought this was a supporting role.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that either. I thought it was a supporting role too.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see that he was nominated as best actor. But I thought it was a supporting role. I'm like, that was one of the best supporting role ever. And no, there you go. And Chadwick's wife, almost made me cry, man. I tried really hard because you feel like she is trying to imagine the things that Chadwick would have been grateful for and how he would go about thanking people.
Yeah.
And that's people, but that's a daunting task, if you ask me, especially, when you or somehow find yourself with the responsibility of being the mouthpiece for someone you loved and you probably you will never see again. Not probably, you will never see again,
Yeah.
I have a visitor here.
I see. We have a guest star.
Yeah.
Hey, little buddy.
Hey, buddy. How on, man? Once we do a live show, then everything happens. Why not?
What?
Yeah. So, yeah. What do you think, Jojo?
Yeah, it was I wasn't surprised at all that he won. I think it would have been incredibly shocking and maybe even horrifying if he hadn't won. It was, I don't know, it was just very poignant and very sad, and all of those things, whenever someone wins after they've died, it's always difficult, especially when one of their loved ones makes the acceptance speech, because that's just heartache on heartache.
Yeah. Can you gentlemen just kind of go? He just went around the table and now he's looking at me face to face, right next to the camera. I hate the fact that he's so tall because, Charlie can get under my table and I don't even see him. But he's right there, man. All right.
Eye level.
Eye level, you're like, I'm with you, man. Right. So, moving on. We are going to Best Director, and we have Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Aaron Sorkin, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Regina King, One Night in Miami, and Emerald Fennell, Promising Young Woman. I think we thought that even though, three women were nominated Best Director, we thought that most likely it was going to go to Aaron Sorkin. But at the same time, though, when we did the nomination show, I personally had not seen Nomadland. And after seeing it, I can see exactly why Chloe Zhao won this one. Jojo, this is a hell of a movie.
I need to see it, and I'm happy that that a woman director won. I'm happy that as much as I enjoyed the movie The Trial of the Chicago 7, I am happy that Aaron Sorkin didn't win, because he's had his
Yeah,
and he won in another category.
yeah,
And it just it's time to move on and recognize other people, people of other genders, other skin tones.
yeah,
Just it's time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was here clapping, and my wife was upstairs. She was like, "Nobody can hear you clap." And I'm like, "What is this all about?" I'm downstairs by myself in my studio. I have a TV right here, and I was watching it from here because I was live tweeting the whole thing, right? And she's upstairs doing laundry or whatever, and I think I'm like I'm my own little world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all I hear is that, no one can hear you, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm just, can a brother just clap? Yeah. Like, what is this, man? All right. So, best motion picture. This one was a surprise for me, Jojo. This one was a surprise for me. I understand the nomination, but I'm still trying to figure out the win. Right? Best motion picture, musical or comedy. Borat, subsequent movie film. Hamilton. Music. Palm Springs. And The Prom.
Borat is what won, and I would have sworn it would be Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like, if I was a betting person, I would have bet money on Hamilton.
Look, that one was, I think, for me, the surprise of the night.
Yeah.
The surprise of the night. Because, yes, I mean, you have to understand what goes on in filming a movie like Borat. This is a dude who lives in character for about 3 years and puts himself in situations that could easily get him killed, could easily get some of his crews killed, and it's an incredibly controversial thing what he does. I get that, but best motion picture, musical or comedy, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I'm
just surprised.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not like mad about it or anything. I just I'm very surprised.
That's amazing. I'm like, yo, what just happened here? wait, what just happened? But congratulations to Borat and Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next category also. Best actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy, Sacha Baron Cohen, James Corden, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Dev Patel, and Andy Samberg. I have to say, the entire category, all of the nominees, except for Sacha Baron Cohen, actually were kind of like lightweight in comparison to the work of Sacha Baron Cohen. So him winning this one for me is a no-brainer. What do you think?
I actually was surprised. I thought Lin-Manuel Miranda, I thought he would win.
You think so?
Because I was expecting Hamilton to win. So I figured it would kind of go hand in hand. So I guess it makes sense that he would win for Borat because Borat won. So that makes sense. But I was just expecting Hamilton to win. So
do you know what? I think it doesn't seem to me as though Hollywood is really happy about the pluvies. The play I just learned that one last night with Amy and Tina. The plays turned a movie. And the other thing I think the HFPA might have not taken into consideration is the fact that, you know, we've seen plays like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and One Night in Miami that have been adapted into movies, even though they still have the backdrop of a play.
Yes.
You can tell that there were plays that have been adapted to movies because of the lack of different locations and things of that nature, and perhaps the way the dialogues go. But what just happened here with Hamilton is that they just set up a bunch of cameras
Yes.
on a live play.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if the HFPA sort of like thought, yeah, it came out as a movie, but it wasn't a movie or something, you know.
Yeah.
But in terms of, if you were, like, I can understand why it wouldn't win Best Motion Picture. But in terms of Best Actor, I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda was acting, you know. So, yeah, it was deserved, and he could have won, you know. But Sasha took it, man.
Maybe some of that was for some things that he should have been nominated for that he hasn't been, because he's done so much more than Borat, and nothing against Borat. That's not what I'm trying to say. But that's his most known character. But he has done so much other work that is so fabulous that maybe this was kind of a nod to that as well.
Yeah, because I mean, still nobody has mentioned his work on The Spy. I mean,
right.
Come on.
That's the one I was in my head, was The Spy. It was wonderful.
Yeah. And then we move on to Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. So we have Andra Day, The United States versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand, Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan, Promising Young Woman.
And Andra Day for the United States versus Billie Holiday took that one.
This one was slightly surprising to me. This one was slightly surprising to me because, you know, I probably will have to watch The United States versus Billie Holiday, and I could have watched it before the Golden Globes, but again, it's on Hulu, so, you know.
Yeah.
You know the deal with Hulu.
Yes.
So, to be honest, I don't know. I can't judge the work of Andra Day playing Billie Holiday. I don't know that for a fact. But clearly, she's fantastic, right?
Yes.
The problem is she's nominated next to Frances McDormand.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, dude, I am telling you, Jocelyn, that was amazing. That performance by Frances McDormand. That was insane. So, I'll get back to you when I finally see Billie Holiday. You know, what are you saying?
I don't remember who we had sort of picked for the last when we talked about the nominees, but I don't really think that the winner was on our radar. I think I expected Frances McDormand to win, even without having seen Nomadland, because she's almost always so good in what she does, and especially if it's sort of a challenging performance.
Yeah.
And the movie seemed like it would be a challenging role. She must have done an unbelievable job in the United States versus Billie Holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing you can always count on Francis McDormand is to be good at playing a crazy person or somebody that is kind of crazy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So she puts on a performance there like no one else. Um, and finally, we get to Best Motion Picture Drama. And the nominees were The Father, Mank, No Man Land, Promising Young Woman, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. And, of course, the winner was Nomadland.
Yes.
I'm kind of glad that Mank didn't get anything.
Yeah, I was expecting it to get more because of how much Hollywood loves Hollywood.
Yes.
So it didn't. I don't think it won anything at all, as far as I'm aware. And if it did, it was maybe a smaller technical award or something. But yeah, I haven't seen Nomadland, but obviously I need to get on that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And I'm gonna get on watching The Father. And Promising Young Woman, I have to figure out what this one is all about too. You know, they show a little trailer of it and everything, but still with the trailer, I wasn't able to quite figure it out.
yeah, yeah.
So, but I think the right movie won Best Motion Picture Drama. Nomadland. I can say that it was overall the best movie. I don't know about The Father seems to be an absolutely riveting movie. But if I have to compare all of them, maybe Nomadland indeed comes on top. I'm not an expert. The people in the HFPA, they claim to be the experts, so we'll give them that one. You know, there were a lot of great movies and series that we talked about that weren't there, that weren't even nominated, that were completely overlooked.
Yeah.
We have issued those grievances.
Yes.
And, hopefully they'll do better next time.
Yeah, I hope so.
What do you think of the bi-coastal hosting?
I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a problem with it. It seemed to work pretty well. They play off each other very well, whether they're physically next to each other or virtually next to each other. So.
Yeah. But I do think that the comedy bits kind of fell short. Not in the monologue part, but rather on the pre-recorded or the impromptu things like that bit with Keenan and Maya Rudolph. I was like, what are they doing? This is not funny anymore. Like it stopped being funny since they got on stage. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it was like it started out not funny and never found anything laughable. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. It never made me. I was sort of embarrassed for them.
Yeah, I like the one with them talking to the doctors and stuff. You have the Thatcher. That was great. That was great. That was funny.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I'm ready for live shows. I'm ready for live award shows.
Yeah.
I know that this situation we're in, this is what we have. This is what we have to do. But I miss it. And I don't think they're as good. No matter who you get to host, I don't think they're as good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's as much, I don't know, is electricity the right word? Or it's just not, it's a little flat. It's a little not enough.
So, what do you expect from the Oscars, which should be next? I mean, typically, supposedly, anything that had a good run in the Golden Globe will probably have a good run in the Oscar.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect at this point.
I think that assertion is kind of falling flat.
I think so. I think this year is going to be different. I think that maybe that may have been true in some past years, but I feel like this year is going to be different. I hope this year is different for some things.
Fantastic. Well, Jojo, we've done it. I mean, we've talked about the Golden Globes twice this year.
Yeah.
And this time we didn't whine about our shows that didn't make it or whatever.
Yeah, we self-edited. Good for us.
So if you were able to join us either on Facebook or on YouTube, we thank you. We hope you subscribe on our YouTube channel. Every week we bring you a show like this. We are also contemplating to live stream every recording session. But hey, you have to subscribe. At the same time, you can follow us on social media. That will be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also the Pinterest. You can find Jocelyn online on Instagram as
Jocelyn Podcast.
And me, you'll find me as Mr. Puzzetta. That's MrPuzzetta. So here's the thing. Me, Jocelyn, we are going to say goodbye now. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next time, folks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Kickin' and Streamin' Podcast. If you found value in our content, please subscribe and share. We would also be delighted to hear what you think of this podcast. So please rate us by writing a quick review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on all major social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Join the conversation happening today on our Facebook group.